Hey fellow builders, and welcome to this little tree building tutorial, where I show you how I usually build my own custom trees. So let's not waste any time and get straight into it. Usually, I first look at the type of tree that I want to build, and pick out the different blocks that I want to use. Then you can either decide to pull up reference photos for your trees or freestyle. Once you have your block palette and tree picked out, you can get started on building the base of your tree. I'll be using wool for the body of the tree first, as this is way easier to work with for me. But if you want, you could also just use wood from the start. Come here, you will have to decide if you want the trunk to be slim, big, slanted, or any other type of way. If it's slimmer, the roots will usually be less prominent than the big ones. But if you do decide on building an extra large tree, make sure it looks stable enough to support its own weight. After this, we'll continue with the actual trunk, raising it gradually until up a third height. Make sure to have it curve in different ways if you want your tree to look organic, and slowly slim the body down the higher it goes. When I'm done with the main body, I usually step back to see if there's anything I want to change before proceeding with the branches. The branches can often be the trickiest part, aside from the leaves, in building a custom tree. You can either start by going to the top of your main body and branching them out from there, or you can just put a few on the lower body. Here, you can either make the branches long and reach into the sky, or go horizontal and split those up into more branches. It may take a bit to place them quite right, but stepping back to look at the whole picture from all sides can really help. Also, make sure that your tree looks balanced. If it's not a really windy area or supposed to look unstable, it'll usually grow in ways to support itself. There, that looks good. Now I can paint over it with my preferred wood. But let's just use the brush tool and mask the wool. Lastly, feel free to add slabs, stairs or fences, as even smaller branches or roots to your tree. Details are always nice. Once you're happy with your tree, you can move on to what I consider the hardest part of the tree, the leaves. Now, I'm lazy, so I'm not going to try placing them by hand. That's why I recommend getting Worldedit for placing the leaves, because it makes things so much easier, especially on large trees. But if you're doing it by hand, Godspeed. Try to make an outline of leaf blocks for your crown and build it up from there. That's what I always did when I was still trying to figure out how mods worked. But anyways, for those that also use Worldedit, simply use a tool of your choice and type in the command /brush, sear, block, and add a persistent true to make sure they don't decay. Then /mask air and start applying the leaves in small spears to build up the rough shape of your crown. Once you've got your blob of leaves on your tree, you can then start adding or removing the bits you don't like. Make sure it's not all one big rectangle or sphere, but swoopy and natural. Not every tree has a perfectly styled crown after all. Lastly, step back once again to look at it from all angles. Does it look stable? Can some areas be reduced or added to? Do you want the key hanging bits for the leaves like a willow tree or not? Keep working at it until you're happy with the tree, and don't beat yourself up over it if it's not perfect. My first trees were abominations, but look where I am now. Somewhat better. But yeah, that's how I usually build my trees. Of course, from here on you can add small pots as decorations or swing to one of the branches. But that's all up to you. I hope you managed to learn at least a bit from me, and happy practicing. You got this.